Hello and welcome to an episode of Motoring Middle East. Today I'm taking a little break from sort of the 4x4s and SUVs and off-road vehicles that I normally look at and get back to basics with the ultimate family car. That is, if I actually wanted to have a family. But if I did, it would be this, the Honda Odyssey, the minivan with the mostest. Try saying that 5 times fast. Basics out of the way very quickly. Prices start at 149,000 dirham 900, call it 150 among friends for the base model. This is the all singing, all dancing touring model, 184,900 dirhams. As standard, all of them come with a 3.5 litre Earth Dreams V6, about 280 horsepower, 262 foot-pounds of torque, and a standard 10-speed automatic. The old 9-speed is gone. Front-wheel drive, I believe, across the board. Only we get 4-wheel drive versions because there's no snow out here and you really don't want to go off-road in this. So it is very lightly updated for 2021. What I'm going to do right now is just focus on the different bits, because if you really want a close look at this car, in 2018, Shahzad did a super precise, very detailed video that's incredibly long, and I don't have the energy to do it again. And that kind of bleeds over into my verdict you'll see at the end, so you have to stay tuned for that. But right now, let's just focus on the basics. And for the most part, the Odyssey is a very good minivan. Thing is, it has a lot of competition in this very small segment, because there are a lot of crossovers that also do 8-9 seats of people. And the best one, in my opinion, is the Chrysler Pacifica. So can the Odyssey compete? It's not that old, it's pretty keenly priced, and it has lots and lots of tech, all the toys that you want. Is that enough? So this must be the 5th or 6th Odyssey I've reviewed in the last 10 years. I can't seem to stop getting the cars. Not that there's anything wrong with them, they're pretty solid, conservative, smart cars. What's new for 2021? Well, this used to be chrome, it's now black, and the chrome sort of eyebrow still stays there. Behind here is, of course, the lane following camera. Yeah, this has radar cruise control, which is quite nice. And of course, all the normal Honda safety sensing stuff. I've never been too crazy about the looks of this particular model. It's still front-wheel drive, but it's that weird droop in the back. But that droop hides something quite clever, which is the rail for the rear door. And now I'm going to I'm going to illustrate how slow the door is in real time. Pull, wait, and you're thinking, okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad, Abhishek. What are you complaining about? Well, when I close it, dying of old. Oh, look at that. Yeah, right there. Oh, God. Yeah, Honda, speed that up for 2022, please. I mean, we all like quick cars that move quickly. You've got a spoiler here. Why do you have a spoiler? There's nothing sporty about it. It's also got a gigantic bottom. This is a car with a giant bottom. That's not really a problem. Like I said, Shahzad's pretty much... Oh, God, that's a beep, all right. That'll give you a heart attack. Shahzad showed you pretty much everything how this car works. I'm going to quickly show you again. Here is the magic seats. So, magic seat, Imtishan, you're going to try to do this with one hand. Watch me do it. Silento said, watch me. There we go. Pulled it. And there's your back seat. So you still have a massive cargo space. You can pretty much set up however you like, and there's a big boot floor as well. But I mean, these cars are basically giant vans. What do you got in the back? You got an AC vent, you've got USBs, you've got a headphone jack and their own volume knobs, and a power outlet down here. I'm trying not to basically replicate what Shahzad said, but yeah, it is very well equipped. Now, this is the troublesome part. Putting it down, you'd think would be easy, but it doesn't always work right. Let me try it. You see, you got to get it somehow, this perfect angle where it goes in. And it did. Right, let's quickly show you the interior. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. So on the interior front, what have we got? Well, we've got a full 8-seater now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at the back. So this middle seat can actually be removed entirely, and then these two seats here can sort of slide together for some sort of weird love seat type arrangement. But of course, with the 5th seat in place right now, if you call this a 5th seat, yeah, the middle seat in place, we can't do anything. However, it is a pretty comfortable place. Oh my God, I'm trying to open this. Why is it not coming up? Is it locked somehow? Have I broken it? Hold on, there's a strap here. I'm pulling. I'm running out of arms and legs, and there you go. That's the back seat up. Okay, hang on. This middle seat isn't so great for passengers. I wouldn't want to be stuck in the middle of that. But these seats and these seats right here, totally fine. Totally fine. And they've even got one of my favorite things about this car. Wheel armrests. Wheel armrests. There is no rear seat entertainment, so you think. And then you look up and you see the Blu-ray player right here. Pretty cool, pretty big screen. Of course, all the usual wireless headsets and so on. They got a little. This is the lane watch camera. What am I saying, lane watch? This is the cabin watch camera that allows you to actually see the rear seat passengers, what they're up to, or film something extremely interesting. You've also got redundant controls here for air conditioning and so on. Overall, so far, just works very well, but not particularly exciting to look at. But then again, this is a Honda Odyssey, not a Ferrari Roma. You find me at a bit of a crossroads. Not an actual crossroads, because as you can see in front of me, the road is dead straight. More of a crossroads in life. Like, what should I do next? Should I have a family? Should I do something of that nature? Well, the problem is, to have a family, you need to have a girlfriend first. But let's not get hung up on unimportant details. If I had a family, would I need a Honda Odyssey? And that's very hard, because the best car in this segment, in my opinion, is the Chrysler Pacifica. Even if I didn't have a family, even if I was just super sociable and took 7 of my best mates everywhere, I would still enjoy myself, because the Pacifica had a thumping stereo. And it had an amazing ride quality, plenty of power, pentastar engine. It's just a nice car to drive. The Odyssey was the best car in its segment 10 years ago. But since then, the Pacifica, I think, is better. And you could even store the seats in the middle straight down into the body. This one can't do that. But on the other hand, it is a Honda. It's reliable. It's capable. It has every gadget known to man. And it is really loaded up. This year, you've got some stuff. I really can't be bothered. CarPlay, adjustable tailgate, blah, blah, blah. But really, for me, it's a chance to give the Odyssey one last shake. So the gear stuff is easy to figure out, despite what I said earlier. Everything that involves movement is a green light. Everything that involves not moving is a red light. So little things that Honda has thought about to give you a better idea of what you're doing. So what's it like to drive? Well, first I want to talk about comfort. I'm not very comfortable. The seat itself is good. I've got great visibility. The ergonomics are fine. But I feel like I'm sitting too far away, and I need to be a bigger person, basically an American. And on top of that, the seat is too hard. It's like sitting on Fred Flintstone's marital bed. It is a little bit much. But the Pacifica didn't have this problem. It had very soft, very nice leather. So this is sort of American style leather. Is it okay? I don't know. Like I said, visibility is good. Steering is so light, like absurdly light. Too light. It's like a waterbed. And despite that, the ride quality is a little stiff. And for the reason for that, I'm going to do a J-turn now. This is a test of any good minivan. By the way, these are extremely good in a filming situation, because can't do it. Can't do a J-turn. Transmission, I'll come to that in a second, but yeah, okay. The power is not really there. It gets up and goes, but the 270 horsepower, 280 horsepower, takes a while to get to it. The transmission sort of always puts you in economy-minded gears, unless you put it in sport mode. Do you need a sport mode in a Honda Odyssey? Hell if I know. Handles okay, but wouldn't describe it as the last word in performance. Let's not hit that tree. Yeah, the handling is okay. The car feels fairly light on its feet, fairly well balanced. It's just a bit dull. It's just a bit unexciting. Brakes really mushy. Like, I'm pressing the brake about halfway down. Nothing. Last quarter. Oh, okay, now we're braking. I've nearly gone into the back of cars. I think the brakes are, to my mind, unacceptable. They need to have they're not bad. They will stop you before you sue me, Honda. The brakes will stop you. But you need to press really, really hard for the brakes to have bite and grip. So I was going back to the steering, taking a hard turn, just going past the Urus, who's blasting up and down his road because he's got nothing else to do. It's predictable. The steering's pretty dead, but it's predictable. But you don't buy this car for the last word in handling. You buy it because it's a comfortable place to put your family, not one to make them throw up. And this car isn't fast enough to make them really exude paroxysms of joy. They're not going to be like overcoming themselves trying to drive in the Odyssey. Like, oh, daddy, take me for a drive in the Odyssey. No, they're not going to do that. They're going to be like, daddy, I'm going to school. Get the car ready. Bring the car around. So is there anything left for daddy? Well, daddy's got a good sound system. It's okay. It's not bad. I think the Pacifica, once again, was better. The electronics is a little fussy, very slow. At least they have a volume knob. Volume knobs are good. Daddy's not particularly comfortable, but the volume knob is there. Air conditioning also struggles a bit. Ground shoot is fairly cold. It's 23 degrees, so it's not really blowing out. I don't want to sound negative. The car is very, very good at what it does. There's no real objective reason why I dislike this car. It's more of a subjective thing in that it's just lacking that X factor, that buzz, that fizz, that anything to make me wake up and want to take it for a drive. It's very good at just sort of, I think a couple having an argument in their car over there. Sorry for them. Hope things get better. Just some reason to like desire it. This is the sort of car you hand off to your driver to drag your kids around. Because other than that, it's not much driving pleasure. And that's a shame, because Honda used to be normally very good at this. Any Honda felt touched by the gods. Like, I'm sure even if you drove a Honda Stream, look it up, car of the 90s, it was a very capable little mini crossover. Well, not mini crossover, mini MPV. Now these cars are largely dying out because they become about large. People use them, people like me. People who use them for shoots because they're great cars to shoot and tie photographers to. Obviously, consensually, they want to be tied so they don't get lost. But most regular people are just buying a crossover. They're buying a Honda Pilot. And why wouldn't they? The Honda Pilot at least has some, what I would describe as modest off-roadability. This doesn't. This has more space, but how many people really need the space? So if you have a large, say, Catholic family, this is the car for you. But that's an increasingly shallow user base, isn't it? So would you buy it because you wanted it? No, I would buy the Pacifica because it had something about it. It just felt interesting and alive, and this feels sort of dead and inert. But it's very, very foolish to underestimate Hondas, because I have a CR-V that I thought was dead and inert, and that was 7 years ago, and I still have that CR-V. I still use it for stuff, and it's a great car. So this car will do its job faithfully, month after month, year after year. There's a man going the wrong way. That's more like it. Doing a U-turn. Okay, fine, he's doing a U-turn. Yes, come to his senses. And he's wearing a mask. Full power, full power. That's a better snarl. I should point out this car has not really been broken in. It's only got 1,500 kilometers in the clock, so it's very sluggish. But yeah, the 10-speed auto, kind of mushy around town. Always kind of just one gear too high. Not crazy about it. Really, that's all I have to say. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It's got the features that you want. It is a little expensive. 185,000 for this car. I don't know if I can pull it off. I would be much more tempted by a decent SUV. It's also a little noisier in here than I would like. It's a little loud. A lot of wind resistance, obviously, because it's a big frontal block of a car, but yeah, a little loud. Other than that, no reason to slate it objectively, but no real reason to recommend it as well. Apart from the fact that I know Hondas never break, and this car will outlast a Pacifica. Almost certainly outlast a Pacifica. But I struggle. I think if I were you, unless you really were going to have that third kid, look at a crossover. Look at a Pilot. A Pilot's a lot nicer. A CR-V will probably do most of these things for an average 4-person family. A CR-V is fine. The Odyssey is good. But is it desirable? Not really. And on that sad bombshell, sad for me to say, and even sadder to say, because I really like Hondas and I like recommending them. This car for me is just okay. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Why aren't you liking, commenting, sharing, or subscribing? These and other answers on a postcard to me. See you next time.